Hello, my name is Dawn Petrill of Art at Dawn, and this week I'm having a virtual studio open house where I'm revealing things about my studio. Yesterday I gave a studio tour. Actually, 2 days ago I gave a studio tour, and then yesterday I gave a tour of all the nooks and crannies in my studio. Today I'm going to do something a little bit differently, and I'm going to go through some of the artwork that I produce and how I do it and what some of my artwork is about. So let's head over here. This is a canvas that I have started, but without the paint. So this is how I embed all the objects that you saw yesterday into my work. I do it in the gesso stage, which is like a primer for paint. And so you can see all the little objects that I put in there. And I also have plenty of texture too as well. And that's kind of the beginning stages of my work. Later I will go in with paint. Sometimes depending on how I'm painting and what I might put a couple more things in there later on. But this is how it all gets started. So let's head over here, and you'll get to see some of my artwork here. Let's start with this piece right here, and this is called The Gossipers, and it's a piece, it's a 20 by 20 piece, and it features, some ducks, and to me they kind of seem like they're kind of talking to each other and, kind of looking out on the water. So that's kind of what that's about, and this one is in my sale, so you'll see that one listed in the sale. Has lots of objects embedded in there as well, so it's a close-up of that. Then this piece, I just added this into my sale today. I kind of forgot to do that before. This is called Whomping Willow, and it was done a while back. I was listening to the Harry Potter audiobooks when I did this, and I really, I chose this subject to do. I loved this tree, and it seemed to have a lot of character to it, and that's kind of why I titled it Whomping Willow too, because the Whomping Willow tree in Harry Potter has a lot of character as well. And again, it has lots of hidden objects and textures and things like that as well. You can just kind of get lost in it. So, and this one is 20 by 20 as well. I was doing a lot of square paintings for a long time. I really liked the square format. This one is called Free Fall. Again, it is for sale in my sale paintings on my website. And this one actually has been revamped a couple times. It was always a waterfall, but it had some more jagged, weird jagged angles to it. And I kind of took out some of those jagged angles and redid it a little bit. But I just love I guess that's kind of why I called it that. I love the freedom of, the feeling of the water trickling down, and just that free feeling. So that's what that's all about. Oops. This one is a little bit larger. This is a 30 by 30. So those other ones were 20 by 20, and this is 30 by 30. And this is called Stopping by the Tranquil Waters. And it features down here, it has my dog in it actually. And this is actually when my dog was just a puppy. We first got him, and I took him down to the water's edge and wasn't sure what he was going to do. I didn't know if I'd have to chase after him or what, but he just kind of stood there and looked around, drank a little bit, and it was just very peaceful, and it made me happy too because I didn't have to be chasing him around. So, and I just really liked the scene, and I took a picture of it and then did this painting based on that. So, up here is called Life Among the Weeds. And this is 20 by 20. I'm just going to try to set it on this ledge a little bit so you can see everything. You know, it has, of course, it has weeds in it, and with like a sidewalk or, a kind of a stone edging there, coming off of it. It also has little creatures in it. There's a bee. Let's see, what else can I show you? There's a moth up here. There is a caterpillar. Down here, there's a butterfly. So it has all these like little creatures. I think there's one more too, but I can't remember. Oh, maybe over here. It's like a kind of like a praying mantis or a grasshopper. So, and what I was thinking about with this painting was just how, like, even in the weeds, there's all this life happening. And I don't know, I kind of made some associations to, like, in our society, there's weeds, but there's people out there in those weeds, and, kind of thinking social like that as well. So, I really enjoyed doing this piece. I'm going to just pan over here, and you can see that up there, that drawing. That is kind of one of the drawings I did before that, just kind of thinking about the weeds and how I want them to be placed and how I wanted to do them. So, yeah, they're together. Yeah, and this is in my sale too. And actually, I wouldn't be, I'd be happy to part with that drawing as well. If somebody wanted to purchase this, we could put it together and, have a story with it. So, up here, there's some more recent pieces. The one on the right is called Dignity, or it could be Dignity 1 or Dignity 2. I'm not sure. I did two of them like this. They're kind of like stumps that are in the middle of a field, and just was thinking about how, even though it's an old stump and it's kind of decaying, and that, that there's still life in it and that it still has this dignity about it. The other one is Real is Unreal, and that's based from a trip to Glacier National Park with my family. And it's just so beautiful and wild out there. And I don't know, it just almost seemed like an unreal because it was just so real. So that's kind of what I was trying to capture in that painting. Up here, I'm stretching up my arms here. This is called Consumed, and again, it's like an old log, and it has all this lichen growing, and all these things kind of consuming it into the earth, and that's kind of what I was thinking of with that one. Over on my easel, this one is called Memories, Quiet Solitude, and this is just a scene that I look at a lot. It's one of my walks that I do with my dog, and it's just looking down the stream, kind of into the great beyond, and just, like thinking about how, the memories are kind of floating away, but there's this quiet, I should have tried to figure out a better way to explain this one. Just a quiet and a reflective kind of piece on this one. Okay, so this is one of my newest pieces. Actually, this might be my newest piece. And this is called, Passing Through. That's what it's called. Passing Through. And at one point, it was just a field with some water and some houses beyond, and kind of more of a peaceful scene. Just a couple of those birds, and on the water part here, that was all I had planned. And then it just kind of like, I kind of created more, and it just got to have a little bit more movement, and this was created over the last couple of months while my mother-in-law was very sick with COVID, and those birds kind of became, I don't know, a symbol of life and of vitality and, things kind of passing through the landscape. There's some sort of connection there with, that all that was happening in my life and these birds, and, that they're passing through the landscape. So that's kind of what that one's about. Up here is called, again, I have to think. Oh gosh, what is it called? I'm so sorry. I should have planned this. I can't remember. It was something about looking at the landscape and onto other things. Okay. In my notes, I will put down what that one's called. I'm really sorry. I should know. This one over here is, now that I can't remember that one, I can't remember this one either. And I'm so sorry. Okay. Anyway, maybe this is a good time for me to stop. This one is in the sale as well, and I'll just tell you about this one, although I can't remember what this one's called either. My titles are kind of, they've gone out of my head. But these, I have a series of 4 of these, and these were, and they're smaller, they're 12 by 12. But I was looking at the landscape, but kind of like looking into the landscape, like concentrating in, and thinking about, it kind of became abstract. So to me, I know where this is, and I know what the picture that I was using for was, but that isn't important. What the important was just, I don't know, kind of the feeling of where this was and what this, what this came about to me. So all 4 of those pieces are more abstracted, but they're kind of closing in on the landscape to, the areas, if that makes sense. Okay. Last but not least, I'm going to do this one, and I do remember the name of this one, so I'm going to end on a good note. This is called Pinnacle, and this was based from a photo that I took of a walk that I did with my sister in Virginia, and we reached this summit area, and so as I was drawing, as I was painting this, I was thinking about kind of like reaching the summit or reaching the top and what that means. So kind of that feeling of being up on top, but what does that mean? So there are some of my paintings. I have more, but we'll end there. I don't want to overwhelm anyone, and I'm really sorry about not being able to remember those titles, and I will definitely put those titles in my comments to this video. But thank you for bearing with me. Sorry for the brain jags there, and I hope you enjoyed seeing my paintings and hearing my thought processes behind it and seeing my process. And if you have any questions about anything, please feel free to ask. I am going to have a question and answer session at the end of this week, and I'll be collecting questions from anybody that wants to know more, or just about the subjects themselves, or about my painting process, or how I do it, or anything. So feel free. And thanks so much. And tomorrow I'm going to be, I'm really excited. I'm going to be showing some of my sketchbooks, opening up some of my sketchbooks and showing some things from there. So until then, I'll see you tomorrow. Bye-bye.